déjeme ser un poco malo. No sé si usted sabe, si tiene noticias de si se ha registrado un intento de suicidio en las oficinas de la Warner por abandonar la película.
The great photographer Sebastian Sardano, someone asked him what was the most important piece of equipment a photographer owns, and he said your shoes. And it's true, you just got to walk everywhere and just, see stuff really. So that was a big thing in Mumbai. The second thing was there's an extraordinary book by a guy called Suketu Mehta called Maximum City, which is a huge book about Mumbai, and it's everything you need to know is in there. It's an extraordinary book. So those are the two ingredients really for finding out about it as much as possible. Warner Brothers, Dickens first. Yeah, it is. I remember the writer Simon Beaufoy, who wrote for Monty. I asked him what was it like writing it, and he said it was just like Dickens. The city has such extremes that the only way you can write about it, the only way to capture it is quite melodramatically, like Dickens used to write, with these huge shifts in tone, sometimes comic, sometimes horror, sometimes romantic, and you have to go through these shifts. You can't try to find a smooth, even keel through it, because the city is all these extraordinary elements bashing into one another. So the rich and the poor are not separated like they are in most cities. They live side by side, everything's side by side. And it's an incredible city like that. Everything seems to go through these extreme shifts. One moment it's incredibly violent, and the next is calm and peaceful. And you can't believe the shifts that are going on. So writing it, inevitably it goes through these big, almost caricature characters like Dickens writes, big melodrama, high romance, and you can accommodate in huge shifts of tone. One moment that a child is blinded deliberately for profit, and the next moment there's a song and dance, celebrating life. And that's a bit what the city's like, is what it feels the city's like. That they, in the end, they did the right thing because they passed it on to this other company, Fox Searchlight. So it was actually to our benefit in the end. And it's been really interesting working on the film, how many things happened that look like disasters, and in the end they turn out to be for your benefit. In India, people say that's destiny working for you. That's what destiny does. And you have to trust it. And you embrace bad fortune sometimes. You don't fight it, seek revenge, all those kind of things. You actually embrace it, and you learn from it, and you gain from it in the end. It's really weird, the way it's worked out like that.
Bueno, en realidad...
The budget was £7 million for the film, which is about as much as I can raise without having to have a movie star in it. That's about the limit that I can raise. It translates into a lot of money in Mumbai. It's a curious city because it's a very expensive city. Like property is the same price as Manhattan. It's weirdly kind of expensive like that because so many people live in the slums that have a different market value, obviously. But your money goes a long way. You need a lot of it, but it goes a long way as well, like that. And the other thing is that it's funny, of course, that the way you make films and some of them work, you have hits and then some of them don't work. And you learn to, it's lovely when people like them, but you still value the other ones that people don't like so much, And in fact, it's weird the way the popular ones get taken away from you, because like Trainspotting, people know more about that film than I know now, You meet people and you can't remember it, but they can remember. So they sort of, whereas you look after the ones that nobody likes, So it all balances out. I work very closely with the scriptwriter, and I suggest things, and if they don't do them, they don't do them. It's like you have to have trust and respect for each other, and then you become a filter for each other, so that I filter the scripts and he filters my ideas. It's an organic thing. You arrive at an agreement together about it in some ways. I mean, in the end, the director is the boss because it's a movie and not a novel or or a play. The director. So but I try to do it through agreement as much as possible.
Bueno,